What's up, y'all? I'm doing a new series called WYE, W-Y-E, and that stands for What's Your Excuse? And I'm going to go around interviewing different business owners, artists, all throughout the DMV in different areas just to find out what's their excuse for not living the life that other people choose to live. And right now I'm going to introduce you to the owner of Third Eye Comics, Steve Anderson. Steve wandered into a comic book shop when he was at a young age, and like most people new to the hobby, he didn't know where to start, but thankfully the shop owner took the time with this young kid and introduced him to this new world. He told him about the X-Men, and from there, the journey began.
I think that like when you figure out what you're supposed to do, you don't even really stop and think about why you're doing it. You're just doing it because it just feels like that's what you're meant to do. It's a weird thing. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, you know what I mean? And like I didn't go to college. And I mean, I dropped out of high school when I was, in 16. I got my Maryland State diploma and that was that. So like for me, like, it was pretty much for my folks, like, gotta learn a trade. I started delivering pizzas. I picked my job back up at the comic store I was working at. I was working 7 days a week. I was selling my own collection at cons, and I literally just was like, I'm gonna do it. I'd always wanted to do it since I was a little kid, and I'm good at it. The store that Third Eye became, a store had closed, and we basically bought the inventory and moved into their spot, and we were on good terms with them. Everything was great. But I didn't really have a lot of money, so pretty much everything I sunk in was that. Trish, who co-owns the store with me now, who's my wife, we basically were like, okay, well, we're going to go out to Lido's, and we're going to have a couple pitchers of beer, and we're going to eat pizza, and then this will probably be the last fun that we have for the next 3 years. Not that the business isn't fun, but just you have to sacrifice some things, and going out with your friends for pizza and beer like you used to, that has to go on hold for a couple of years because you're literally working all the time and you're broke. But the thing that Trish had that I tell my staff is she had faith in me, and she just had faith that I knew what I was doing, and that if we worked on it together, we'd get there. And I tell my whole team that, like, it's still at staff meetings. I'm like, when we open a new store, when we talk about e-commerce, which is coming soon, when we talk about all that kind of stuff, I'm just like, just have faith in me, and I'm gonna get you there.
So that never happened.
Oh man, that's like a thing they added to the show.
Yeah.
I like that.
But dude, the show is freaking excellent.
I love the actor
good job.
choices.
I'll do that.
The thing about a good comic book store is it's always the people in them. You know what I mean? Like our stores, our Third Eyes are they're great looking stores and they're full of stuff. But the real magic that makes these stores work, and the reason why we're still around versus a lot of other kinds of businesses that have kind of faded out because of things like Amazon and stuff like that, it's the people in them. And when I was 12, I don't think I would be here now if I hadn't had a good comic guy who actually took a minute and was like, yeah, if you like this X-Men thing, there's also this. We just soft opened our 4th store in Richmond, and the thing that we're spending the most time on, setting the store up, laying the store out, stocking the store, it's a lot of work, but I can get it done, I can get it fast, because you can almost automate that to a point, you know what I mean? But the thing that we're spending the most time on, the thing that Torma's driving 2.5 hours, and we're putting him up in a hotel, and he's down there doing, and the thing that I'm going down there and doing, it's the community aspect, the building a community, building a relationship with your customers, and comic book stores are these dense, intimidating things sometimes where there's just walls of books, and nobody wants to go into a store and feel uninformed, you know what I mean? We have to work a little extra harder up front to help make people feel comfortable and welcome, so that way they can enjoy the store and enjoy the hobby.
You can sign up for a subscription service. Monthly is about $10, or annually is $69, but that's unlimited access to all of Marvel's comic books.
With digital comics, basically, it is it's not substantial. It's kind of like video games or anything else. They're great and it's temporary, but it gets people, it piques their interest. But for whatever reason, I think we as human beings like to have things. I think honestly, in 10 years, it won't be chains, it won't be Best Buys, it won't be places like that, but I think that you'll see a resurgence, not just in stores that do print like we do. I mean, comic book stores are kind of carrying the torch right now, but I think that in 10 years, you will see a resurgence in media stores of all types. You will see stores that will be selling CDs again, and they'll be selling them a lot. But like with something like Spotify or Comixology or anything like that, you are literally beholden to the fact that that thing that you love could disappear and never come back. Do you mind if I, hey.
Trish asked me to tell you that Tony is here to see you.
Okay, cool. Let her know that I'll be wrapped up in a few. No, I don't ever see myself getting tired of this. I love it. I love what I do. I love, for all that we have 28 employees spread out between four places. It's a lot to keep track of. The easiest time is honestly when you're first starting out, and it's the hardest, but it's also the easiest because you are literally one person, and you can literally move quick, and there's not as much of a tie to where you're concerned about things like payroll and stuff like that. And I'm constantly learning like new skill sets and learning new like ways to manage and things like that. But at the same time, it's rewarding to see the people that work for me growing into their own people and managing and things like that. And I'm like, oh man, they're doing this better than I ever did it. You know what I mean? Like that's really rewarding, and that makes it worth it. I mean, I know it's cheesy, but it's the truth. I could tell you probably a million little things that I've had to change or do or sacrifice that along the way, but I don't think about them because I don't miss them, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's just doing it. You're just like, cool. All right, yeah, I can't go do this. I can't go do that, but I can do this. I can do this. And I think more about the things I can do. I try not to think about the things I can't do. You can learn so much more by just doing whatever you want to do. You just get out there and do it. Yeah. And that's it. You just do it. Because you're going to mess up no matter what. So you might as well, be making some progress when you mess up. I'm Steve Anderson, owner of Third Eye Comics. Third Eye Comics is my excuse. What's yours?